Ngozi and the old woman stood frozen in the corner of the market, watching as Emeka's eyes scanned the crowd. Ngozi's heart was beating fast. She pulled the scarf tighter around her face, hoping Emeka wouldn't recognize her. They slowly backed away, moving deeper into the crowd. Emeka was still looking around, but he hadn't seen them yet. "Let's go," the old woman said, leading Ngozi through the busy market. They took a narrow path, twisted between the stalls, moving further away from where Emeka was standing. Finally, they reached a quiet street. "We are almost there," the old woman said, pointing to a small, simple house at the end of the road. Ngozi felt a wave of relief. They quickly walked to the house, and the old woman knocked on the door. A woman opened the door. She had a kind and welcoming face. "Mami Joma, who is this?" the woman asked, looking at Ngozi. "This is Ngozi. She needs a safe place to stay. Can you help her, Mama Chidi?" the old woman asked. Mama Chidi nodded. "Of course, come inside." Ngozi followed them into the house, which was warm and cozy. She felt a little safer now, but she knew this was just the beginning. "You can stay here as long as you need, my dear," showing Ngozi to a small room. "No one will find you here." Ngozi sat on the bed, feeling both tired and grateful. "Thank you, Mama Chidi. I don't know what I would have done without you and Mami Joma." Mama Chidi smiled and patted her shoulder. "You are safe now, Ngozi. Rest and we will talk more later." As Ngozi lay down, she thought about everything that had happened. She knew she couldn't go back to Emeka, but what would she do now? How would she start a new life? She needed to find a way to take care of herself. Back at the house, Emeka was angry. He had searched the entire market but couldn't find Ngozi. When he returned home, he found the house empty and silent. As the days went by, Emeka realized how much he missed Ngozi. He missed having someone to talk to, someone to care for him. But he also knew deep down that he had been wrong to treat her the way he did. One day, Emeka went to work and heard people whispering. He didn't know that they were talking about him until his boss called him into his office. "Emeka, there is something we need to talk about," his boss said. "I've heard something about how you treat your wife. Is it true?" Emeka was shocked. "What? Who told you that?" "It doesn't matter who told me," his boss said. "What matters is that you need to change. You can't treat your wife like this. It's not right, and it's not who you should be." Emeka felt a cold shiver all over his body. He had never thought about it like that before. He always thought he was just being a strong man, but now he was beginning to see that he had been wrong. I I didn't know," Emeka stammered. "I thought I was just being in control." His boss shook his head. "Ah, Emeka, being a good husband isn't about control. It's about love, respect, and kindness. If you don't change, you will lose everything. This is exactly why it's important for a couple getting married to go to a premarital counseling. This helps them to learn the basics of a happy and healthy marriage. It teaches couples effective conflict resolution techniques, reducing the risk of domestic violence and divorce. Those words stayed with Emeka for the rest of the day. When he got home, the silence in the house was even louder than before. For the first time, Emeka felt truly alone, and he started to think about how he could make things right. Back at Mama Chidi's house, Ngozi was sitting in the small room thinking about her future. She had been with Mama Chidi for a few weeks now, and each day she felt a little stronger, but she knew she couldn't stay hidden forever. One morning, while Ngozi was helping Mama Chidi to prepare breakfast, she said, Mama, I think I am ready to do something more. I want to start working and earn some money. Mama Chidi looked at Ngozi with pride in her eyes. You've come a long way, my daughter. I know you can do it. There's a woman I know who needs help at her shop. She sells clothes and fabrics. Would you like to work there? Ngozi nodded. Yes, I would like that very much. Later that day, Mama Chidi took Ngozi to the shop. The shop owner, Auntie Bisi, was a kind woman with a big smile. She welcomed Ngozi, showed her around the shop, and introduced her to the rest of the workers. You will help me arrange clothes, talk to customers, and learn how to sell, Auntie Bisi explained. It's a hard work, but you will do well. Ngozi felt excited and a little nervous, but she knew this was a good step forward. She started working at the shop the next day. At first, it was difficult to talk to strangers and learn all the things Auntie Bisi taught her, but Ngozi was determined. She listened carefully, asked questions, and soon she began to enjoy the work. As days went by, Ngozi became better at her job. She made friends with the other workers and even began to smile more, and that made her even more determined to build a new life. Meanwhile, back at the house, Emeka was a changed man. He had started to realize how wrong he had been. The silence in the house made him think about what he had lost. One day, Emeka decided to visit his friend Chuka. He needed someone to talk to, someone who could help him understand what to do next. When Emeka arrived at Chuka's house, he was welcomed warmly. Chuka noticed how sad Emeka looked and asked, What's wrong, my friend? Emeka sighed and sat down. I've made a big mistake, Chuka. I treated Ngozi badly and now she's gone. I don't know where she is or how to make things right. Chuka listened quietly, then said, Emeka, it's good that you realize your mistake, but now you have to change. If you want Ngozi back, you must show her that you are different. You must be kind, patient, and gentle. Emeka nodded, feeling the weight of Chuka's words. But what if she never forgives me? What if it's too late? Chuka shook his head. It's never too late to change, Emeka. But you have to start now. Be a better man, not just for Ngozi, but for yourself too. Emeka left Chuka's house feeling a mix of hope and fear. He knew he had a lot of work to do, but he was determined to try. At the shop, Ngozi was finishing her work for the day. She was folding some clothes when a woman walked in. Ngozi smiled and greeted her, but something about the woman seemed familiar. The woman looked at Ngozi and smiled. Ngozi, is that you? Ngozi's heart skipped a beat. She knew that voice. It was Auntie Amaka, a woman from her village. Auntie Amaka! Ngozi exclaimed, feeling a mix of surprise and joy. What are you doing here? I moved into the town a few months ago, Auntie Amaka explained. I was so worried about you when I heard what happened with Emeka. But seeing you here, walking and smiling makes me so happy. Ngozi felt tears in her eyes. She hadn't expected to see someone from her past, but it felt good to know that Auntie Amaka was nearby. Auntie Amaka hugged Ngozi. You are strong, Ngozi. I am so proud of you. If you ever need anything, I am here for you. With people like Mama Chidi, Auntie Bisi, and now Auntie Amaka in her life, she knew she could keep moving forward. That evening, Ngozi walked home with a heavy feeling in her heart. She couldn't shake the thought that something big was about to happen. When she reached home, she saw Amara, her good friend, waiting outside. Ngozi, Amara called, waving with a big smile. Ngozi smiled back, happy to see her friend. Amara, you came. Amara hugged her very tight. I missed you, Ngozi. I heard what happened with Emeka. Ngozi sighed. It's been hard, but I am getting stronger. Amara looked into her eyes. I know you are. I am so happy to see you looking strong. Ngozi and Amara spent the evening chatting and catching up with each other's lives, sharing stories and laughter as they reconnected. The next evening, when Ngozi returned from work, she stood in front of her door, staring at the key in her hand. She had a strange feeling inside her, like something was about to happen. Her heart was beating fast, but she tried to stay calm. She slowly opened the door and stepped inside. As she entered, the house felt quiet. Ngozi's friend, Amara, was supposed to visit her that evening. They had planned to cook dinner together. Suddenly, Ngozi heard a soft knock on the door. Her heart skipped a beat, but she walked to the door and opened it. Standing there was Emeka. His face looked different. He seemed worried, almost sad. Ngozi, can we talk? Emeka asked in a quiet voice. Ngozi felt a mix of emotion, anger, fear, and something else she couldn't explain. But she nodded and let Emeka inside. They both sat down. The silence between them was heavy. I am sorry, Ngozi, Emeka began. His voice was trembling a little. I know I hurt you. I didn't mean for things to go this way. I've been thinking a lot, and I want to make things right. Ngozi listened, but she didn't know if she could believe him. She had been through so much pain because of him, but as Emeka continued to speak, she noticed something different about him. He wasn't just saying sorry, he seemed truly sorry. I want to change, Ngozi, Emeka said, looking into her eyes. I've realized how wrong I was. I don't expect you to forgive me right away, but I want to try. I want to be better. Before Ngozi could respond, the door opened and Amara walked in. She looked surprised to see Emeka there. Ngozi, what's going on? Amara asked. Ngozi explained everything to Amara, from the strange feeling she had earlier to Emeka's visit. Amara listened carefully, then turned to Emeka. If you really want to change, it won't be easy, she said firmly. Ngozi deserves the best, and you will have to prove yourself. Emeka nodded, understanding the challenge ahead of him. Ngozi looked at both of them and felt a sense of calm. Maybe things could change, but it would take time. She wasn't sure what the future held, but she knew she wasn't alone. As the three of them sat together, Ngozi realized that this was just the beginning of something new. It wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to face it. Ngozi looked at Emeka with a serious eyes. If we are going to try this again, Ngozi said, I have some conditions. Emeka nodded. Okay, I'm listening. First, I want to work and earn my own money. I need to be able to take care of myself. Emeka thought for a moment and then nodded again. All right, you can work. Second, Ngozi continued, the debt my father owes you, which led to this marriage in the first place, will be cancelled with no conditions. Emeka's face grew serious. I promise, Ngozi, consider it done. Ngozi took a deep breath. And third, I want to be able to visit my family whenever I want. I don't want to feel trapped again. And my family will be allowed to visit our house anytime without any restrictions. Emeka smiled softly. You can visit them anytime, and they are allowed to visit anytime. Lastly, Ngozi said, if ever anything feels wrong, I can walk away without any trouble. No arguments, no pressure. And Emeka said, sure, consider it done. Ngozi felt a bit of relief, but she wasn't done. You have to promise, Emeka. No tricks, no surprises. Emeka looked into her eyes and nodded. I promise, Ngozi, I will make sure you are happy. But Emeka added with a little smile, I do have a surprise for you. Something special. Ngozi frowned. What is it? It's a secret, but I will show you when the time is right. Trust me, you will like it. Ngozi wasn't sure how to feel about that, but she decided to give Emeka a chance. She wanted to believe that things could get better. Emeka looked at Ngozi and asked, what have you been up to these days, Ngozi? Ngozi smiled a little and replied, I got a job at a clothing shop. I helped the owner sell clothes. Emeka listened carefully. He could see that Ngozi was happy with her new job, but he wanted to do something special to show her that he had truly changed. He started to think about how he could surprise her in a big way. The night ended with a simple meal shared between friends and the promise of a better tomorrow. But deep down, Ngozi knew that this was just a start of a long journey, and she was prepared for whatever came next. Over the next few days, Emeka made secret plans. He talked to some people he knew and started working on a surprise for Ngozi. He wanted to give her something that would help her grow. He decided to begin to prepare something really special. It took some time, but Emeka was determined. He wanted to show Ngozi that he was serious about changing and making things right. Finally, everything was ready. One evening, Emeka asked Ngozi to meet him at a place in town. Ngozi was curious but agreed to go. She told Amara about it, and Amara smiled, telling her to be careful but also have fun. When Ngozi arrived at the place, she was surprised to see a beautiful shop with bright lights. The sign above the shop had her name on it. Ngozi's fashion. She couldn't believe her eyes. A maker stood beside the shop smiling. This is for you, Ngozi, he said. I know how much you love fashion and how hard you've been working. I wanted to give you something special to show you that I've really changed. Ngozi was speechless. She walked into the shop and saw that it was filled with beautiful clothes, fully stocked. Tears filled her eyes, but they were tears of joy. She couldn't believe that a maker had done something so kind for her. Amara soon joined them, and when she saw the shop, she jumped up and down with excitement. Ngozi, this is amazing. I'm so happy for you, Amara said, hugging her friend very tight. Ngozi turned to Emeka with a big smile on her face. This means so much to me. I can't believe you did this. You deserve it, Ngozi. I want to be better for you, and I will keep working on it. The three of them spent the evening in the shop, talking, laughing, and celebrating. Ngozi felt a warmth in her heart that she hadn't felt in a long time. She knew that things were starting to get better, and she was excited about what the future would bring. All right, my lovely people, we've come to the end of the story of Ngozi and Emeka. Please share your thoughts about the story in the comment section. I'll be there to interact with everyone. And there is another story that I will be uploading in a few days. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so you won't miss the story when I upload it. Also, give this video a thumbs up and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified as soon as the story is uploaded. With this, I say thank you for watching and see you in my next video.